presentation will be timed with a chronometer. Time will be indicated at the following segments to remind the participants of the remaining time to complete presentation. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. In the last 30 seconds remaining, seconds will be announced with both hands. If presentation isn't complete after 20 minutes, presentation will be automatically stopped with a verbal announcement in order to move to the question period. A period of 5 minutes is allocated to the jury to ask questions concerning the presentation. After 5 minutes, a verbal announcement will stop the question period, even if the question or the answer isn't completed. It is mandatory that at least one question is asked by the jury to complete the question period. Note that if a participant reveals the name or source of the university, will lead to penalty. In order to start the presentation, please turn off any electric device that could be disturbing during the presentation. I will now let the jury present themselves.
Good morning. My name is Louis Coté, President of Data Communication.
Hello, Marlène Degaro. I'm a Marketing and Communication Coordinator at IBNR.
Marc Passagnarel, I'm a Marketing Coordinator at the IBNR as well.
Hi, Geneviève Ledoua. I'm a Media Strategist at Startup Worldwide.
We understand the future can be a scary place, but with the various innovations that the future holds, it's possible to have a more humanized robotics system. That's why we are here today. My name is Danny, this is my colleague David and Siham, and we represent Knight Consulting because we are here to fight for your place in the market. Today, we are here with AVR, Humanizing Robotics.
Avant de continuer la présentation en anglais, mais gênez-vous pas de me poser des questions en français à la fin. So starting off with why we're here. To create a communication strategy for the next 9 months, to really engage with your current and potential customers to celebrate your 25 years of business and your credibility within the marketplace. In order to do so, we have to look at 3 different aspects. There's a huge geographic span of your clientele, so we need to make sure the message is strong, regardless of where your clients are. We also know that there's an opportunity to upsell to your current clients because they have many factories and not all of them use your services. And finally, we want to keep your mission very strong in mind because we're all about humanizing robotics and that has to show through with any communication plan. So let's start off with our analysis.
Thank you, Siam. All right, now for an industry analysis. First of all, I really want to put emphasis on the importance of trade shows. So we know that your customers are really in a niche market, being the aerospace engine manufacturers, and the communication basis is pretty much only trade shows. So there's a huge importance for you guys to really communicate through those channels. So second of all, you're the only player in that niche market, meaning that you really have this competitive advantage right now, but it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. So it's really important for you to secure your clients that you have and make sure that you're going to be able to retain them if there's a future threat of competition that happens. Third of all, you pretty much have all of the gas turbine engine manufacturers. There's not that much in the world. There's only 4 really big players. So right now, you're at full capacity of your customers, and it's really just increasing the number of factories that you have with each and every one of them to increase your overall sales. And finally, as previously mentioned, you're the market leader. So really, what you're going to want to do is, it's your responsibility to increase the market size and really to try and fight with those indirect competitors, being the engineers doing the work that they do day to day. All right, now I want to take the time to do a little bit of a comparative case with another major player here in Quebec, Pratt & Whitney Canada. So in 2016, they celebrated a major milestone, being the 100,000th engine manufactured, and they basically did a sort of campaign year-long to celebrate this milestone. So it's really good comparison for your case if you want to celebrate your 25th year anniversary. So what they did basically is a couple of tactics, and I illustrated 2 of them. First one being creation of milestone plaques. So they handed out these plaques to all of their major customers while attending trade shows, and they're able to take pictures with them and afterwards use those pictures for their marketing content. And lastly, they also created anniversary events, milestone events, really to celebrate the presence of their customers and the work that they're doing with them. All right, now let's take a look at your company. So I really want to illustrate the 4 strengths that you guys have, and that's basically created your success throughout the years. So first of all, I want to take the time to congratulate you for your 25 years of existence. It's really a good milestone. Not lots of companies get to that point. And you have 1,100 projects, which is very good. Second of all, I think one of the key reasons why you achieve this is you really deliver good customer service. So you keep your customers satisfied and you do good business with them. Third of all, you're doing constant investment in R&D, meaning that your customers don't need to look elsewhere because you're always able to supply their needs. And finally, you're really able to give high levels of precision and repeatability that's good for the engineers. All right, I want to talk about your mission and values because it's very important moving forward that whatever campaign you do really respects who you are as a company and as people, as employees of the company also. So your mission is to humanitize robots, and I want to put emphasis on the two main values that really stand for your company, being humans and innovation. So moving forward, you're really going to want to use these values in your messaging campaigns. All right, now let's take a look at the sales process. So on your company side, you're going to have your executive vice president of sales, marketing, and customer service, along with the service product development manager and your sellers that are going to do the contract negotiations with the customer side. So I noted three key stakeholders on the customer side that you must consider while doing your messaging to these people. So first of all, you have the CEO. The robotics that you install is of huge importance, so you're going to have involvement with the CEO himself or herself, meaning that you need to consider them. Second of all, you're going to have the VP Finance, and third of all, the VP Engineer. So I'm going to discuss later on how you're going to tailor your message to each one of these people. And then just other considerations to keep in mind is that you have principally two ways of getting those contracts. First of all is direct, so either through word of mouth or through people looking on your website. And second of all, you have business development, so going in trade shows and really doing that sort of sales pitch to get those customers. All right, now taking a look at the Vice President of Finance. What's going to be very important for that person is really to see the cost benefit of what you're giving them as a service and as a product. So you're going to want to talk about the long-term investment and what's in it for them, and basically the benefits of automation. Next of all, you're going to have your Vice President of Engineering. So for that person, it's really going to be important to talk about the specific technicalities and specifications of your products, and basically all the productivity and the time saving that they're going to be able to do, and that your product will not replace them, but really just enhance the work that they do, and it's really to get that precision in the work that they do so they're able to be more productive on the long term. So it's important to really tailor the message correctly.
So moving forward, there is a lot to analyze, but we want to make sure we leave you with 3 key points so that we can look at our implementation strongly. The first being to communicate to customers during trade shows. This is your prime opportunity to really get yourself out there and to really talk to these people. The second being use your core strengths to secure new customers. This is going to be able to allow you to truly show who AV&R is, because that is something you should be truly leveraging. The third being to tailor your messaging to each customer stakeholder. So as mentioned, the CEO, the VP Finance, the VP Engineering, it's very important to make sure we're sending them the right information through the right funnel. So we've looked at a couple alternatives. So basically, the first one of them is a various marketing campaign. It's an out-of-the-box creative communications plan. This is something we want to consider moving forward just as one of the ideas. The second being the brand heritage and history. You guys have a rich brand and a rich history, so it's possible that we could also leverage something like that. The last being value-based messaging using your human and innovation core values. So moving forward, we really want to look at these 3 core decision criteria in order to make sure we know where we're going to go. The client perception, how does your client see you? The second being the credibility and enhancement potential. This will allow you to actually upsell your existing customers and potentially your future customers in order to really make sure you can get that sustainable revenue for the future and the years to come, and along with the future growth potential as mentioned. So looking forward, we did notice that values-based messaging on your innovation and your human core values is something you guys can really leverage in order to move forward. So we believe that that is your strongest card in your hand when you're going to be able to make this implementation for the next 5 months. Speaking of that.
Now, we know where to go. The question is how. And that's where we're coming up with our communication plan, the people for tomorrow with AV&R. Really focusing on your 2 strong values to interact with your clients. Where we're going to be focusing on the human aspect, where you're playing a part with all the people, all the stakeholders, and really enriching their experience when using your products. And the fact that you're always focused on innovation. So anything new coming in the marketplace, you're the leader, you're the ones that they need to look for. And that's how you're going to be able to really connect with them and honor your 25-year anniversary. In order to do so, we're going to be focusing on 3 different prongs. Starting off, we're going to hit hard at the trade show, start off with your new campaign, and be directly talking to these individuals. After that's done, we're going to introduce a new educational program where you can really interact with engineers and show them how your program really makes it easier for them. And finally, we're going to give back and really celebrate as your anniversary comes up on November and have an event with all your key clients. In order for our goal to be really accomplished today, we're focusing on getting you 3 new contracts with factories that you're currently working with, but to get those contracts that you don't have with those certain clients. So starting off, we're going to be looking at a 3-pronged implementation. In the first phase, it's all about fuel. And then in the first months, we're going to be hitting a trade show, and we're going to be introducing people for tomorrow and messaging towards this clientele. This is where you'll have the opportunity to get some leads and hopefully be able to get 15 from these trade shows. Once that's done, the next of the implementation for the next 5 months will be focusing on really connecting with these individuals. As you're approaching these new factories, you want to show what your key criteria and your real competitive advantage is. We're introducing an educational program where you really teach and empower these engineers to use your programs. And finally, in the last months, we're going to be focusing on celebrating your 25 years and getting you those 3 new clients. So let's start off with the first phase, fuel. We're launching your new messaging in these trade shows. In order to do that, we want to make sure that your top team is on the trade show floor. We want your executive vice president to be there because we know that all the large players do come to these kind of trade shows. We're going to be focusing more on aerospace, where you currently are, and the international trade shows. So we know that you have clients from everywhere, and we want to make sure that's represented in the trade shows you go to. And we want to have your product development and some sales reps to be there as well to really support in this endeavor. Once we're able to do that, the whole message is going to be people for tomorrow. So we would like every employee to be branded with this message. The acronym will be P4T. This will really engage with them. You'll see it on the pocket of their t-shirt and also the front. And it will have people for tomorrow. So this gets the conversation going. Your clients that have been with you will ask what's going on. And your true values are really strong with them because they know you care about humanizing and also innovation. So this is the best way to talk to them. And what we'll also be having is we'll take some innovation from Pratt & Whitney and have these amazing plaques to honor your huge customers. So at the event, we want your executive vice president to hand out these plaques to the CEO of your huge clients and take a photo with them. So let's take a look at the actual trade show. When you walk in, we want to have all the logos of your current customers and some testimonials. So maybe the VP of Pratt & Whitney says, I've been with them for over 25 years, I've never had a problem, always there to help me and look for solutions. This is the thing you want to have because you'll engage with new clients moving forward. We want a photo booth area so that they can take the picture with the executive, vice president, and we also want to highlight your past work, saying that you're very innovative and you're able to work with many different clients, so you'll really shine over anyone else and really get those clients to be interested in you. So then we'll be able to secure those 15 leads. And in order to really make sure that you're getting the right people to your trade show booth, we're going to do some personal invites. So you already have these great clients, so you want to invite them by email, phone call, and get them there, and also have some press release media out in the market on aerospace industry media platforms, so that way everyone knows something's coming and the message is really strong moving forward. Now that we've been able to do this phase, we'll have 15 new leads that you can acquire in this phase. Afterwards, we're going to be really focusing on generating a buzz and showing them that after 25 years, you're the top leader in this market and you have something to offer these engineers overall. We're going to be introducing an educational program platform. So this is where you'll have the opportunity to really pitch and negotiate to get these new people signing on with the factories. In this point, we're going to be talking about financial saving and different tailored messages. So if we go a bit deeper, we see that the head office person will care more about their financial savings and how they can increase productivity. So that's what you're really be pitching them. And in terms of the engineer, he wants to know about how his life can or her life could be easier when they're implementing this new process. And in terms of when you're actually doing the negotiation, we see on the red table versus green table kind of scenario, the things that you're willing to give up and the things that you can't concede on. You're really going to be looking at the term of the contract length and also margins. You want to keep that the same because you deserve these great margins. You have a great product. But what you can offer them and incentivize them is with this educational programming that we're really excited to talk about. So how will the program work? We would like your current sales representatives to be in charge of it. We'll give them added documentation so that they know exactly how they can train these new engineers and really get them on board. In terms of the fact that you have clients from all around the world, there will be some in-person when possible, but we would like you to film it and have it live streamed as well. So that way people can look back at the material regardless of wherever they are in the world. And this will be also making sure that they're very happy with the service with some satisfaction surveys. So from the CEO to the user, so you really understand, are people really feeling the fruits of your labor and understanding how it works. So by the end of this, we hope to acquire a 95% satisfaction rate moving forward.
Now looking at your last phase, it's time to make sure we take off at proper speed. The goal for this is to retain and secure some new clients. Basically, who's going to be able to do this? Your current sales representatives and their respective accounts. You're going to be able to target them personally. Because of that personal interaction you have in the past, you're going to be able to make sure you have a proper meeting with them and a proper sit down. That will allow for a nice human interaction. The personal follow-up, this is going to be able to set the scene. Basically have a semi-annual in-person meetup with these various clients, set at a proper date for them to make an actual meeting sit down. This is basically going to have some feedback for how the service has been. The second, it's going to be able to have a progress report. What this means is it's going to have a sense where all the metrics you've acquired from the past year using your service will be able to be presented to them in a nicely packaged report. And finally, the opportunity to upsell. What's new? AV&R is always using their R&D development opportunities to make sure that they're on the cutting edge of technology with robotics. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to upsell your old consumers. Now, through this, you're going to be doing various emails with your monthly newsletter. This is something you currently do, and something you should be currently continue to leverage. And you're going to also have the quarterly reports with the personalized product usage. So this all falls under the class of hypercare, making sure your consumer exists, but not just at the first sale. You have a lifetime with them. It's like starting a relationship. You need to make sure you're building the ladder to success. Now, I'd like you to take a moment and pop the bottle of champagne, because it's time to celebrate at the 25th annual anniversary for your gala. What's this going to look like? You have your schedule. Number one is the dinner. The speech with the AV&R CEO, because we want to give that personal interaction and make sure everyone is happy and ready to go for a dinner. Now this event will also have customer success stories in the form of keynote presentations. This is going to be able to have a bit more of a, wow, someone as big as X is able to have such a good service with them. I want to have that service too. That's going to incentivize them to be an even better relationship person in your relationship with them. And then lastly, you're going to have brainstorm sessions. This is going to be in the form of a little bit of a cocktail and sit-down session, which will allow you to basically say, what went well, what didn't go well, how can we improve together as humans? The second is the accessibility for your clients abroad. As we know, sometimes it might be a little hard to travel to this anniversary event, so we're going to be able to live stream this event for them, for all those who can't come. And then finally, the thank you. We are going to have a whopping 5-foot image plaque given out at the trade shows to these actual big consumers. That's 5 feet. That's a lot to look at for your actual relationship with you guys. Now, after this event, you're going to have those 3 new clients acquired, making sure that you have the attendees from the private event talking and spreading that positive word of mouth. Now, looking at the budget allocation for this, we were given a budget of $35,000. We've divided it into a couple categories. The tactics being trade show, press releases, educational program, your 25th year annual event, and the plaques for a total of $35K, with the majority of it being spent on the dinner and the 29% being on your trade show. So with these 3 new contracts, we've estimated an average $1 million revenue per contract. With the total of the 3 new clients, you're going to have a revenue generated of $3 million.
All right, now we have certain risk mitigations that we're ready to face with, although we're going to discuss it more in the question and answer if you have certain questions relating to these risks. And so today you came to us with the mandate of delivering a new marketing campaign for your 25th year anniversary, and we did so by doing trade shows, educational programs, and hypercare. Thank you for your attention, and we're now open for questions.
Thank you. I have a question, it's really detailed, but how do you measure your second goal, 95% of satisfaction? How do you plan to have these numbers? Yeah.
So what we will be doing is have surveys that we'll be giving to the users that will be at the educational program. And through the surveys, you'll be able to see how they answer the questions and then be having the result of 95%.
Oh. Okay, do you plan to integrate the use of social media into this whole campaign?
Yeah, definitely. So as we know, the aerospace industry is a little bit more conventional in the sense that social media is not as developed so far. There is Safran that's doing very, very well in social media. So that's like a good example that you can base yourself off of. Although we really see that it's more like big companies like GE and Safran that have a good social media presence. And for, not saying small companies, but for, let's say, other players, yes, social media is important, but really put the focus on trade shows because that's where the whole communication happens and that's where the real deals get done, basically.
Fermeté, je vais parler en français.
Ouais.
Considérant que l'entreprise a quand même une couverture mondiale et des trade shows comme ça sont mondiales, souvent c'est des gros trade shows, une journée, deux, des fois trois, une semaine et tout ça, c'est très accaparant pour les gens de l'industrie qui participent. Comment pensez-vous être attractif pour attirer des gens justement au kiosque? Et comment assurez-vous, après le kiosque, d'avoir un lien qui doit être vraiment capable de conclure par la suite?
Par exemple, au début, on va être sûr que tout le monde va être là parce qu'on va faire des emails personnalisés. On va faire des communications en avant pour assurer que toutes nos clientèles sont là-bas avant. Et aussi, on va avoir des publicités dans les aerospace media en avance. Comme ça, tout le monde est au courant qu'est-ce qui arrive. Puis à la fin, quand les personnes partent, on va être vraiment capable d'avoir une connexion avec eux parce qu'on donne une plaque à nos grands clients. Et aussi, à la fin, on avait le droit de les personnes devant de faire des suivis. Ça, c'est pourquoi on a avoir 15 leads en fait à la fin.
And do you have a budget for this ad campaign in the different medias, specialized medias, or it's in the trade show budget?
Yeah, so for the trade show and regarding any sort of social media presence you do want to have moving forward, we'll be willing to be basically able to incorporate that into the trade show budget.
J'avais une question par rapport aux risques que vous avez notés dans une de vos slides. Peut-être qu'on peut y revenir par rapport à la possibilité qu'on n'ait pas trop de nouveaux clients. Vous avez mis qu'on pourrait accentuer notre présence dans les trade shows. Est-ce que c'est un budget qui est incrémental? Est-ce que vous avez des idées de comment est-ce qu'on pourrait aller tackle ça dans le budget qu'on a actuellement? Parce qu'on n'a pas nécessairement plus de budget pour ça.
Ouais. Dans le fond, on a plus calculé ça comme étant, vous avez déjà un budget pour les trade shows qui se passent en ce moment. Je sais qu'il y a aussi le Paris Aviation Week qui est comme un gros événement pour les trade shows. Puis ça peut plus aller chercher des clients européens. In Asia, I think il y a aussi le Singapore Trade Show, si je ne me trompe pas. Fait que ça, c'est comme d'autres exemples de trade shows. Fait qu'au lieu d'augmenter le budget pour ça, vous pouvez peut-être juste reallocate le budget de certains trade shows plus en Amérique du Nord, puis vraiment plus le disperser pour d'autres key areas in the world, basically.
Puis tu as l'air de t'y connaître en show, lesquels qu'on va, mettons? Il y a Paris, là, ou aux États-Unis, t'en as-tu?
Ouais, fait que, dans le fond, comme j'ai mentionné, dans la région asiatique, Singapore, I think it's Aviation Week, c'est vraiment le plus gros, puis je pense que c'est même un des plus gros dans tout le monde. Fait que moi, je considérais que ça, c'est un des plus importants. Je pense que vous avez 7% de marché en Asie, fait qu'il y a beaucoup d'opportunités pour vous d'augmenter votre business en Asie. Fait que définitivement, moi, je commencerais par Singapour.
C'est beau. Juste une dernière question. Est-ce que vous avez pensé à une campagne média pour faire des vidéos pendant ce salon-là, puis toute cette initiative-là, puis faire des bébés avec ça, et non pas juste le timing du salon et ces gens-là directement, mais de faire quelque chose avec un plus grand rayonnement? Est-ce que vous avez prévu une stratégie par rapport à ça?
Oui, exactement. Pendant le trade show, on va avoir des vidéos qui jouent, qui montrent votre travail en avant, mais on va avoir la chance de faire des vidéotapes de tous les gens et les photographes puis tout, et le montrer après pendant l'événement de 25 ans. Comme ça, vous avez une intégration de toute votre solution.
Et puis après ça, vous réalisez ça de quelle façon?
Dans le fond, on s'attend aussi à ce que, vu que c'est votre 25e anniversaire, vous êtes vraiment comme, vous avez tellement un gros impact dans les...
Merci.
Ah, merci. Merci.
Merci.